Sorry, my video got cut off. I had to move my car. So where am I going with this? Well, I specifically touch on this because I want to talk about Pooh Shiesty and Lil Durk. And I'm going to tell you about how God works. I've talked about it many times before. God always affords somebody two paths. Sometimes there's more than two paths, but he'll always give you two paths. And you can look at it as a basic way of life. When you come in, you're without sin. You're afforded two paths, but you're given a path back to redemption. But you can choose dark or you can choose light. There's two paths. And so when God chooses to use a person, most of the people are out there just doing dumb, diabolical fucking shit. I'm just here to let you know, it doesn't matter whether it's me, it doesn't matter whether it's Lil Durk, it's goddamn Pooh Shiesty, it doesn't matter whether it's Joe Blow on the street. They're out there doing fuck shit. Everybody's out there doing fuck shit until they find the path back to redemption. And then they have to make a conscious decision. Do I want to leave? Do I want to kill the old me? And do I want to become something new? Do I want more from life? That's what God is doing right now for Pooh Shiesty and Lil Durk. They've been sat down. They were out there doing fuck shit. They were both out there doing fuck shit. But God wishes to use them. And so in order to use a person, God puts you in isolation. In the Bible, it talks about they went to the wilderness. What is the wilderness? The wilderness is to go into isolation, people. Why do you have to go to the wilderness? To draw nearer to God. God wants you to seek him. God wants you to confide in him. God wants you to place your goddamn brokenness at the foot of his altar. The blood of the Lamb and God know what to do with your brokenness when you place it on the altar. So they have to put you into fucking isolation, people. That's what they do. God places you in isolation so that his goddamn sheep return to him. That's what he does. That's what he does best. I can't tell you how many times God's put me in isolation. Just in this cycle, I did 19 and a half months in solitary confinement. I was in 8 by 6.5. For 19 and a half months, people fed through a slot. What did I have in there? They don't let you have shit in solitary confinement, but they let you have a Bible. God isolates his people in order to draw them nearer to him. You have to be placed into isolation so that you can learn the signs that God uses, that you can learn his voice, because we're attached to the worldly. People are attached to the worldly. They're concerned with goddamn money. They're concerned with bitches. They're concerned with goddamn sports cars. They're concerned with a whole host of fucking things. And when that happens, when you're concerned with all of this, you're distracted. And so you just forget what God's voice sounds like. You forget how to see the signs and say, oh, that's a sign. That's a sign. God's communicating. God wants me to go left. So God isolates you when he prepares to use you as a servant. It's never happened any other way, people. God always sends you off into the wilderness. He puts you into prison or he sends you into the goddamn wilderness. Look at the early disciples. Every one of them was incarcerated. I was incarcerated after the crucifixion. Everybody was incarcerated. Everybody went to the wilderness. Because that's where you grow nearer to God. That's where you confide. That's where you build that relationship that's unbreakable, that's untouchable. So that when he commissions you to go into work to be a faithful servant, you go out there and when he says go left, you hear it and you're like, I'm going left. When he says go right, you're like, I hear that, I'm going right. That's what God does, because you have to know his voice. You have to have the spiritual connection with him. And that's why God puts people into isolation. That's why God puts people into timeout. He's preparing them for service, to become faithful servants. And so with that, I just want to say, I know they got YouTubes and goddamn joint now. Pooh Shiesty, Lil Durk, if you see this, peace and blessings be with you. Assalamu alaikum. May your paths be paved in gold. Hang tight. Both you boys are going to be free again. You're going to be free. You just got to sit tight. But God's going to afford you another chance, because he wants two faithful servants. So with that, peace and blessings be upon your homes.